Hey everybody, welcome. It is Tuesday night, time for our Homestead Live Update and Chat. How's everybody doing? Let's go to the comments. Let's see who all's here. HG was here like an hour ago.
No, he probably just had
he was so excited, and he told a joke. So anybody that missed it, what do you call a woman who burns her mortgage in the fireplace? Bernadette. Starla showed up. Don't encourage him, Starla. Terminator's here. Tambra. Lad, how you doing? Can Squatch. Thanks for showing up, guys. Thanks for joining us. Hope everybody had a great week. We've been busy doing all kinds of different things. Hey,
Zig, what's up?
Zig's in the house. You've been doing more cooking and dealing with a broken freeze dryer. You finally got that sent out today.
And now my large there's a sensor wonky on it. So I'm going to have to figure that one out. It keeps stopping in mid-cycle.
So, guys, this is one of the things. If you get a freeze dryer, you have to deal with them constantly.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of work. When they're working, they work great. When
they're not working,
when they start messing up, it becomes a pain. So we're down to one freeze dryer now.
Our neighbor just got a freeze dryer, and I'm going to use their freeze dryer. So I'll have two larges running, and then hopefully I shipped out the rack to get fixed, and I'm hoping it's only going to take 2 weeks. I'm thinking it's going to be more like 3. We'll see. Sometimes it's good and fast. Sometimes it's not.
Well, independent, if you decide to buy one, be sure to go down below into the affiliate links and get one through there.
So what I recommend, and though I appreciate that, what I recommend, they do have refurbished ones. So when they come off, they'll refurbish them. And so if you call the company directly, call Harvest Right directly, and then see if they have any refurbished in stock or when one is going to be ready to ship out, call first and make sure you can get that, because there's a large discount on it.
Substantial.
And so I would prefer you do that than throw a couple dollars our way. So
Spag says Topeka's a cesspool.
Yes, it is.
At least it's not a foreign country like Lawrence is there. You could be living over there off of Manhattan.
I don't know. Topeka is kind of becoming a foreign country. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't go down there enough.
I don't think hardly anybody speaks English anymore down there.
I
was just saying
that may be coming to a screeching halt here pretty soon. Yeah. We'll talk about that later. Let's talk about what we did this week. So you made some Hungarian goulash yesterday that was delicious.
No,
not goulash, stroganoff. She made stroganoff.
I made beef stroganoff yesterday.
That was delicious.
And so that's what the beef stroganoff. And actually, it was so funny because Patty kept talking to me, and I was losing track. Like I cannot talk while I'm cooking, and so he always gets mad when I do cooking videos. He's like, "You need to talk more." Well, I'm focusing, and so I forgot to put the mushrooms in there. So I sauteed the mushrooms and then put them in afterwards. So they're in there now. But anyway, I have large batches and just so many batches. I think I have done, there's probably 120 servings, if not more. I'll let you guys know once I get everything packaged, so that we have them for the freeze dryer, get them done, and have them for the SOE party and any orders coming in over the holidays. And so the beef stroganoff is what Kiri loves. She loves my stroganoff. And so she's had that before. So that's what she's promoting. And that's what she wants me to be able to taste test for everybody.
We're streamlining the menu. If you guys have ever been out to our web store, and if you haven't, shame on you. If you have, thank you very much. But you notice there's a huge selection out there, and we're trying to streamline it. We want to offer enough that people can get 3 meals a day without having to make too many choices.
What we're noticing is that everybody is pretty much wanting, and what they've been ordering over the last year, 2 years or more, has actually been like mom's cooking. And Carrie pointed that out to me. So I have a lot of appreciation for that. And it makes it easy for me because Mama's cooking. I love Mama's cooking. Mm-hmm. So I'm back on that all day, every day. So yeah, the comfort foods is what they want. And then the fruit snacks and that kind of thing. So I think that's the direction we're heading.
And you finally broke down, was it Saturday or Sunday, and got all the floors clean?
I had to, man, that was bad, but I had to wait for the mud. And so I thought that I waited long enough for the mud to dry up. And then I was mad. The hacks came over and then he was out working and I ran to the city and I get back and I'm starting to unload and I look down at my floors and I just wanted to cry. And Darren kind of looked at me and he's like, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I literally just scrubbed my floors. Literally just scrubbed them."
Len has a question for you.
What's that?
He's asking, are you doing analytics on your sales? Track everything.
Yeah, no. My tracking and analytics is what I cook the most. And so I'm pretty good about that. So yeah, it's my it's my goulash and my stroganoff and my creamy garlic chicken and my breakfast and my fruits are the biggest sellers. Bananas, strawberries, I always sell out of. So I need the extra large pack. But yeah, no.
If it's not on paper, it never happened.
That's his job.
No, it's your job. My job is to go.
When I get big enough, Lynn, then I'll have all that. I'll get that program and do that.
My job is to go be a wage slave every day.
Yeah. So we have, I don't know how to explain it. So when we go to certain festivals, there's certain deals. And so we barter and then take payment in several different things. So I cannot, I don't want to incriminate myself here. I can't keep it in a system that somebody else can review and get.
Yeah, you can.
No, because I'm not paying taxes on barter and I'm not going to pay taxes on and charge taxes to people who pay cash. I'm not doing it. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, and come up with a different system maybe. But if I put it in inventory, and so Square will do that. And if I put everything in inventory, it can be seen.
It's not like you're making excuses not to do it.
No, if somebody has a way to figure out a way around that, let me know. But
Skeens, did we miss Skeens?
Skeens is on the road. She better not be typing.
They're all saying hi to her.
Well,
there she is.
Okay.
Driving but listening.
Yeah, okay. Don't be typing.
Yeah, I was going to say, so it looks like you were typing while you were driving. Maybe she's using that text to talk.
I don't know.
Start with the spreadsheet. Nobody else has to see it.
Oh, okay. Can you make me a spreadsheet?
Guys, tell me if this happens to you. Tell me if you come up with ideas and they are the stupidest things in the world, and somebody else that your wife trusts says this almost the same exact thing, and it's a really good idea. Does that happen to you?
Maybe because somebody asked the question and then suggested, I threw it out there, and then somebody else, like Spags, comes back and he's like, hell yeah, and da. And then, here, what Lynn say, do it on a separate sheet. You've never suggested that. I told you
need to keep a spread. You need to keep.
I know I need to do that.
You need to keep a spreadsheet with all your expenses and a spreadsheet with all your.
I've handed you receipts and they have sat. So I'm just saying, like, you have to help me on that. I'm not a computer person.
All right.
I never have been.
I will make you a spreadsheet.
You say that to me every time.
No, I don't, because you never say you're going to do it. So I never do it.
I've got
that's a whole nother conversation. So what else did you do this week? Taxes came.
Taxes came.
Hey,
oh my God.
Everybody, repeat after me. In fact, type it into the chat. Taxation is theft. And the county just thefted a whole boatload of money from us.
Not just that, but then turned around. We're getting ready to come up on a new year. So they're going to have to do another calculation of what money they want, that kind of thing. And oh my God, I'm going to try not to lose my crap right now. Get this. The high school prom committee asked the commissioners for money to rent a building for prom. And the commissioners said, guess what?
Probably said they didn't have it.
Nope, they said yes. And they're giving them the money. Why are they doing that? What happened to fundraisers? What happened to that kind of stuff? There's no instant bank here. And I'd like to know whose freaking kid of the commissioner's kids is going to prom that they're getting that money.
Everybody seems to agree that the taxation is theft.
It is.
But and then Tiger pops in.
What'd she say? Hey.
Hi, y'all.
Oh, hey, y'all. But yeah, no, I'm disgusted, absolutely disgusted. And it was really interesting because when I went to go get a counter check, the girl, she's like, well, do you want me to order you checks? I'm like, no, I just need a permanent receipt. So this is what I need. And XYZ. And she kind of looked at me and I go, look, I don't really write checks. And so unless I absolutely have to in order to have, because that's my best receipt, in my opinion. And so I have a constant record of that. My bank has a constant record of that. And so I said, I just got to go pay my taxes. And the woman looks at me and she goes, yeah, those went way up, didn't they? And I said, yeah, I'm considering going to go get a job with the county because I would love a 15% pay increase every single year.
The other thing that gets me is we've been in this house a little over 3 years, and we pay almost the same amount of money here that we paid at our old place.
I think we're over that now this year.
No, this one was $100 less than the most we ever paid.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the amenities in the county were way better.
They suck here.
Yeah, way better. And this property is not even close
to what we had there.
To what we had in Pleasant Hill. And so they're grifting. I mean, Northeast Kansas is this area that we're in is a good area to be in for a lot of reasons. We just got to get the county under control. We got to get the government under control and try to get things fixed.
Well, we know we're ruffling feathers because now the sheriff's deputies are always at the meetings. And
well, they're trying to keep that guy from Lawrence that's in the Open Government Project out. There's a guy, he's
two of them. He's
some sort of doctor. At least that's what he says he is. Not like, I don't know if he's a medical doctor or a PhD.
Is that Justin or the other one?
I don't know. Mike was telling me about it. But they come up there, they're in the Open Government Project, and they have honed in on our county government.
On what's going on here.
Because of it started with the solar, but then they kind of saw the Northeast Open Government YouTube channel that they started, and they started coming up here. And so the county passed a rule saying if you don't live in the county, you can't talk at county meetings, which is BS.
That's bull.
And then they're telling these people they came up with all kinds of new rules for filming, and then
which they can't do. Well, so they're escorting these guys out and telling them they can't film when Kansas very much has a sunshine law. And so absolutely you can film and all that can be on record.
Where does all the tax money get spent? Oh, that's
road and bridges.
That's a great question.
Road and bridges. And guess where one of the commissioners, what they do? Yeah, road and bridges.
Let's see here. What's that say?
And our roads and our bridges suck.
We got some good cement bridges.
What?
We got good cement bridges.
So what about the roads?
The roads suck. The dollar has been greatly devalued over the last 5 years from COVID. Starting out, several trillion in new dollars have been put into existence. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how they try to fix that problem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, getting back to what we did this week, I spent 4 hours yesterday. It was Veterans Day, and so I had the day off. I spent 4 hours yesterday fixing the greenhouse. We had a whole bunch of wind this spring and summer, and it popped a lot of the bands, moved them around. So I had panels popping out. And so I had to take bands off, readjust the panels, put the bands back on, got them in there. And then I got in and started cleaning some stuff up, had some grass and some actually trees growing up inside the greenhouse. That area where the greenhouse is used to be covered with these little 1-inch saplings, and they're still popping up. So I have to cut them out on a regular basis. But I'm in there working. I had a sweatshirt on because when I went out there, it was like 50 degrees. And after 2 hours, I'm like sweating my butt off. I'm like covered in sweat. I'm like, what the heck? And
so maybe we shouldn't put the lettuce in yet.
I found the thermometer, and it had gone from 60 degrees to 95 degrees.
Okay, yeah, we need to hold off on the lettuce then.
Well, it needs to germinate. It'll be okay in the heat if it germinates.
Well, I guess it is supposed to get colder next week.
It's getting down. It's getting down. It was at one point yesterday. It was 110 degrees in there, so I had to open everything up. But this morning when I went out, it had been in the low 40s all night long. I mean, it got cold early last night, and it was 46 degrees in there. So that's a good thing.
Beautiful.
Let's see here.
Yeah, Tambra said, hold on, because her lettuce is bitter, so we need to wait.
Oh, does the cold make it bitter?
No, the heat getting too hot makes it bitter. It'll go to seed.
You get kind of bitter when you get hot and sweaty too. But the temperature goes down and it's okay then. That was a joke. Everybody else thinks it's funny.
Well, everybody else can laugh. I'm not laughing.
Heat makes it better. Thank you, Tiger, for telling everybody. And then yesterday, I spent 4 hours trying to clean up a pile of limbs that are out by the chicken coop, because I've been trying to cut all the burnt limbs off the tree that got burnt whenever the
chicken coop caught fire.
And Patty and Darren came over last night and we were talking, and I looked out the window and I told Patty to come look. So this pile was great big. It took me, I got 4 skid loader buckets full of branches, and then I got another skid loader bucket full of cut lumber for the fire pit and the fireplace. And so these chickens were all over. They had this great big pile of limbs to stand on. Well, now it's like 1/5 the size, and so they all stand in this one little clump right there in the middle of the yard. It's the craziest looking thing.
Yeah, see, Jennifer's got my back. Just like I wouldn't be laughing either.
Crazy Yoda and folks, I wouldn't be laughing either, Yoda. Well, you know what? It's a good thing you're not here then.
Oh.
Welcome, by the way. Let's see, what else?
Oh.
Skid loader. I got the skid loader working after it being down with the flat tire for a while. It's back up and running.
Are you gonna have the side-by-side or the 4-wheeler working before the grandbabies get here?
The side-by-side is not going to get done because we have to have the engine torn apart and take and fix.
Why does it keep getting worse every time I talk to you? Like, it has been just a battery issue, then it went to a battery and starter issue, and now it's an entire engine issue.
To fix the starter properly, you have to take the engine apart. You have to take the top of the engine apart because of the way that thing's put together. That's one thing. If you guys ever buy a Ranger side by side, they are built. The engines are built really bizarre, and it's just a pain in the butt to work on almost anything. See, Tambra chuckled.
Yeah, but Tambra, was it Tambra? Was it Admiral? I don't know.
So no, I have to get the 4-wheeler running so that I can take baby girl and baby boy on trips around the property. Baby girl loves the side by side, and I wish it was working. It's just going to cost a little bit of money to get it.
Ooh, crooked little homestead, -7 degrees. Oh.
It's only
It's getting in the
28, no 20.
no, it's minus. So when I go
Their zero is
32, 32 still no, where are you getting that? 32
Fahrenheit.
Celsius. Stop it. 32 Celsius is 72 degrees. So that's 40-degree difference. So -7, that's 40. Is that 40 degrees difference? I guess it is.
0 Celsius.
I mean, you can do whatever. I had a portable air conditioner in here.
Just take it.
I don't know. It's anybody in there that has a calculator. You do it. Tell me.
It's cold. It's below freezing.
Mm-hmm.
It's below freezing.
Yeah.
And I'm not ready for the cold weather. I was looking, I've got about 3/4 wood cut. I got to get 2 cords split out of that.
Yeah, it is a domino effect.
Yeah, the Rangers are
one thing right after the other.
Yep. Well, and the starter, so the solenoid on the starter goes in and out, and the starter for the part that goes into the engine that turns it, you actually have to take the exhaust system off and part of the engine apart in order to get to it.
Gregory says you just need small, limber fingers.
Yeah, that ain't gonna
so we'll have to find somebody that has small, limber fingers around here.
Yeah, I could take and put them in the side by side and drag it around with the skid loader.
That's good.
That's right. I was going to teach a girl how to run the skid loader.
Oh, she'd probably like that. I don't know if her mom would like that.
Oh, she'd love it. Northern Girl Hobbies was on wood duty today, at least.
Room is full of wood for now. We need to get wood in tonight. Skin's going to be here, so that living room is cold. It's going to be very cold for her, so we need to get a fire lit for her. So, because she's dainty and from Louisiana. She was sweating to death the other day, and now she's going to come here and be freezing.
As far as updates, as far as Homestead Update goes, radio communications.
Mm-hmm.
We had the meeting last week we told you about, where we talked about communications. And when Darren and Patty were over yesterday, we started playing around with the radios, and the original configuration on our radios did not have some of the local repeaters. And I never thought about checking them, I'll be honest with you, until I started redoing the repeater list and adding some of the local repeaters. And we were testing last night, and we actually hit, from our house, we actually hit 2 different repeaters. So I can get the 2 meter out of the valley. So now the thing is to get some holes drilled so I can get the 2 meter antenna out of the house and get it hooked up to that, get the wire out of the house so I can hook up the antenna and actually get the 2 meter running again,
mm-hmm.
which will be nice once I get that done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I talked to the neighbor about that, and so he was excited about that. And then we need to get all their radios programmed as well. So you got to figure that out. Sit down with him and tell them to bring them all.
We can do that. So that was exciting yesterday, and I got yelled at. First time I'd been on the radio in 3 years, and I got yelled at by somebody because I was
being a pain in the butt.
Well, inadvertently. I got on the channel. And nobody was talking. And the one repeater was hit or miss for me. And so I was trying to key the mic in order to get the repeater to talk back to me. Because if you do that and you talk to the repeater, it'll send a little signal back, letting you know that the repeater's there and it's active. And I couldn't do it. And apparently some dude was listening, and all he was hearing was my keying the mic. And so he's like, quit keying the receiver or transmitter and just get off the network. So I was like, yeah, I let him be. I was a little, I admit I was wrong. You're not supposed to do it that way, but I thought I was alone. I didn't realize there was anybody on there. Kerchunking. Yes, I was kerchunking. But no, it was nice. We were able to reach the repeater up in the main town that's near us. So that's a good sign, because if I can hit that, then everybody else in our community should be able to hit that.
Yeah.
Because we are considerably lower than everybody else in
yeah. Did you talk to Hacks and see if they could hit it from their house?
He said he had hit it with his big antenna, his big 2-meter antenna.
Good deal. Good deal.
Oh yeah, and I was just using a little handheld Bowfang, and once I get my 2-meter up, it's going to be 30, 40 feet up in the air, and I should be able to hit more repeaters. You know.
So I was asked an interesting question today, and he wanted my opinion, and he said, "What's your thought on all the Dems being very quiet right now?"
Quiet.
And I knew what he meant.
They can't.
I knew what he meant. And I said, because, you got to relate this to last time. And I said, right now they're organizing. They're getting everything together. I said, they're trying to figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to do it. They're going to be organized on this one. And so, man, I said it last night. I'm going to say it again. I said it this morning or this afternoon. And my opinion is they got to keep, well, he actually made the comment they need to keep Trump and Vance separate and not let them be in the same room at the same time or at the same place at the same time.
Well, and they usually, unless they're at the White House.
Right. And then they got to keep him under lock and key because everything he said he was going to do, you can bet he makes it through inauguration and he is going to do what he said he's going to do. He's going to keep his promises. He's already putting the panels together. Absolutely wonderful.
First, let's talk about the first part of that. Why are they not being quiet, or why they're being quiet? They are moving. There's a huge movement online in the leftist sphere. Armed militia is what they're doing. Armed leftist groups to protect themselves, because now that Trump's in office, all us conservatives apparently are going to go after them and try to unalive them. So there's a huge movement there. And the thing that bothers me about that is, compared to the way they were 4 years ago, the left is much better organized and much better trained. I've said it before. If you go look at Antifa and leftist rallies where they've got armed guards for protection, they're much better equipped, and they conduct themselves in a much more professional way. And to think that all the veterans out there are conservatives and patriots is delusional on our part. If you think that, because there are a lot of vets out there that are leftists and have no problem arming people up. And I don't care I don't care. It's their right as an American to be armed and to organize a militia. That's fine.
Tiger, there's no way. Highlight her comment right there. Yeah, show it real quick before we lose it. I don't think there's any way that's going to happen. I do believe that DOJ is throwing a hissy fit right now, and I kind of know who's throwing the hissy. I have an idea of who's throwing the hissy fit in there, and that's only because he's going to strip them clean. He already said he was going to. He's going to clean it up.
Well, and yeah, the deep state's gonna drag their feet and do everything they can to derail the agenda. Just get ready for it. Yeah. And you're gonna have the news media. They're
already lying.
The news media is going to 24/7 anti-Trump to do everything they can. The difference between 2024 and 2020 is the media showed their asses, and people are starting to ignore it. Yep. Even lefties are going, hey, these people are lying to us. Yep. Whenever you had which podcast was it? Patrick Bet David, his live stream of the election night had more viewers on it than the three major networks combined. So the day of the network media having a stranglehold on the narrative are over. In fact, did you guys hear today that Chris Wallace is leaving CNN?
I'm gonna grab a blanket
because he saw what Tucker Carlson's done, and he saw what happened on election night, and he feels that he has a better chance of making more money and being able to better report the news if he goes independent and does a podcast. So yeah, the media, it's not dead like some people are saying, but they are in retreat right now, and they'll try to regroup. What do we got?
Don't mess with the pendulum, and it'll open up a pile.
No, the ghost opened the door behind us. No, that was a dog. That was a dog going through the door. Gotta maintain the illusions.
Yep.
Gregory, don't mess with the pendulums.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm telling you, January is going to be rough. I'm not looking forward to it. So I cannot stress how important it is to make sure you all know it here. But to make sure that everybody's got enough preps in their house and get everything that you need for the month of January, I'm going to say through April. And then
6 months.
You think 6 months? So through July or through June. But make sure, I don't know, the weather's awful nice. So maybe
I'm just saying 6 months.
Yeah, but you need to make sure you got enough stuff stockpiled so that you can get through that mess.
6 months, because that's how long it takes to set up a garden and get it all working properly.
Well, no, I'm talking about the luxuries, right? So if you know that you want bananas or something like that, or you know that you want, you guys go through X amount of toilet paper, or you go through X amount of paper towels and that kind of thing. You don't want to be running to the city for that stuff. You definitely don't want to be caught off.
Tell them the conversation you had at Sam's yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll go back and we'll discuss Trump putting together his team.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So she had a conversation yesterday at Costco, which is very interesting.
Yesterday? Yeah, I did go yesterday. So it was interesting to me. I started seeing they had a ton of employees on the floor that were pulling empty boxes. They do that, but I've never seen the carts piled high with boxes. And she was pulling so many banana boxes that she had to set them on the floor because she couldn't stack them any higher. And I was just trying to look for the ones that were the most yellow, because I need brown spots on them for the dessert that I'm going to do for, because I need them sweet for the desserts that I'm going to do for Festivus for the rest of us. And it was very interesting to me. She turned around and she looked at me. I didn't even provoke the conversation. She turned around and she looked at me and she said, "Oh, if you want bananas, you better get them now." And she said, "Anything else that you see in here that you're going to need?" And she said, "The trucks haven't been here in days and we don't know when the next truck is coming in." And I was like, "What?" And I said, shocker. And, I flat out told her, I said, "We got to be punished for what we did last week. And so this is how they're going to do it. And it's what they did last time Trump got into office. It's what they're going to do again. And God only knows what pandemic is going to evolve in January. What's already in the works."
Well, the Trump being in office, he's not even office yet. And people are already going into debt. I mean, gosh, Kamala Harris is $20 million in debt. I mean, my goodness, imagine if she would have been president, this wouldn't have happened to her. So it's Trump's fault that she's in debt.
It's ridiculous. Everything's ridiculous.
Okay, let's talk about Trump putting together his team.
Tambra, yes, you should be, but Tambra, you got to understand there's a lot of people that are relatively new and transitioning. And so what we need to do is not tell them, "Well, you should already." What we need to be telling them is, "You can do this and here's how you can do it." And we share how we can do it.
So I honestly have a hard time getting excited about anything that happens at the national level as far as politicians and stuff. I will say this. So far, the team that Trump is putting together and the names that are being talked about, scratching my head on a couple of them, but for the most part, I'm pretty excited about it because he's putting some people in place. Tom Homan has been pegged to be the ICE director, and he's a friend of our community. He's the spokesperson for EMP Shield, and he's like-minded. He's like-minded. We know people that have interacted with him
and pulls zero punches.
Yeah, he doesn't pull any punches. In fact, there's a great exchange of him. Was it? I don't know if it resurfaced or it just recently happened, but one of the squad members was being a squad member, and he flat out told her, said, "You work for me." He was a witness at a hearing or something. He's like, "You work for me," and just basically told her to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
But and then Joel Salatin, you said you showed that he finally
he has announced accepted. He's there.
He said he would take it.
Thank you, Tamara. That's the encouragement that they need. Awesome. I don't know if I can do this with my left hand. You have to find it. There you go.
But well, Leonard, the House member thing, they will be appointed by Republican governors to fill the slot. The Republican.
Well, he's already answered. He's already put a lot of them in positions already.
He's pegged Little Marco to be Secretary of State, which that was a head scratcher for me. But hey, you know what? He's the professional.
He pulled the
Kristi Noem from
Montana,
North Dakota. South Dakota.
I don't know.
One of the Dakotas.
And then Montana governor's doing something, and he's maybe to Israel. Trying to remember.
Well, and the whole point is he's bringing people in that are, how do I put this? They're going to be they by all accounts look like they're going to be team players instead of appeasement nominations like what he did last time. He took being the novice into the politics game. He took people's advice that did not have his best interests in mind, and I think he learned his lesson, and he's putting people in that are going to be team players and going to want to work the agenda. The whole thing.
So one is from New York, House, not Senate or governors. I don't know. I have to look that one up.
But I'm happy with it, especially Joe Salatin, the Tom Massey, USDA.
Huge.
That we had some insight into that whole process, and if they put the team together that they want, that's going to change.
Game changer.
It's really going to change the way America operates, and
I mean, pro regenerative farming, pro cottage, pro homestead. I mean, this is huge. This is absolutely no chemicals, no sending beef over to China to be processed and then brought back, no sending hogs and all that garbage, all the animals over to Africa to be processed and sent over. United States is finally going to be in control of their own food again.
Well, and I foresee a lot of entrepreneurial stuff happening.
Yeah, I could see
Which
that.
would be great. Which would be great
Capitalism at its best
for people like us and our community, people in our community. Being able to grow food and sell it locally and regionally much easier without government interaction would be awesome.
That's name sounds familiar, Gregory. Actually, I'm not sure. Is he on that council? Is that where I heard his name?
I don't know all the names on that.
I have to ask Tag.
But
would he
said Grin will be in there
somewhere. In there somewhere, yeah. I know his name has been thrown around for something. But are you looking it up?
He served as acting director of the National Intelligence.
Yeah, I know his name has been thrown around.
Kash Patel for the intelligence director. I don't know. It was good. It was a good pick.
Yeah,
small farms and local consumption. That would be awesome.
Huge. It's a game changer.
That one, and even though Robert Kennedy's a kook, if they keep him in a very narrow lane with the FDA, that's going to be a game changer too.
Mm-hmm.
I I sat down and I watched the Chiefs game this weekend, and every single commercial break had at least one pharmaceutical ad in it. And then I sat down and
Newsom fight the USDA. He's not going to do that. Not much he can do about it. That's federal. Newsom is pansy anyway. He's not going to do nothing.
You know, but and then I was taking a break last night, and I was watching something on Hulu, and every commercial break in that one was literally a pharmaceutical ad. And
because most of the Chiefs players are actually in those ads.
We're the only country in the world that allows that to happen, and look what it's done. The pharmaceuticals are peddled like candy, and
I so hope that comes to a stop. I think Kennedy can do that.
The cultural ramifications are, instead of people dealing with the problems, they mask the symptoms and consider it okay. And some of these, my God, some of the symptoms, you know, it's a running joke. You know, the one I was like, I can't even remember what it was. I think it was for the not the shingles, what's it?
I don't know. All I see right now,
the plaque stuff you get on your, that makes you itch and
psoriasis,
plaque psoriasis. But the side effects were like,
you could die,
stuff that could kill you.
Right?
I'm like, yeah, I think I'd just take a salt bath and itch more. Hey,
right.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, no, it's kind of ridiculous. I don't know, but I'm super excited about this one. And so what'd she say? What did he say?
I agree, but he called for a special session for funding to fight Trump. Newsom was in DC trying to get help from the California congressional people.
Okay.
And then he called a special session in California to figure out what they could do to fight Trump, anything that does.
Okay, here's where that falls in line. So right now they are scrambling. They are literally scrambling, and literally the word that the words that they are using is they're trying to Trump proof all of Biden's policies. So I get what you're saying in there, and I know why that's happening, and that's part of it. So I'm not sure how they can get away with it. I think right now it's just a panic attempt, and I'm not quite sure it's legal. And
no, they can. It's a state thing. Here's the deal, guys.
No. They're doing this all over.
I know.
Yeah.
Here's the deal with this, and the Dems are going to get hoisted on their own petard in regard to that, and that's if Trump decides to be hardline and actually wants to fix things. All right, that's still to be seen. Federal funding. California cannot function anymore without federal funding. Their schools can't, their highway system can't, because they have overloaded the system with illegal aliens. Same goes for every blue dot, every blue state. They can't function without federal assistance. And Trump has said, if you don't do what we say, we're going to cut funding. He said that to the schools. He said you will get rid of all the DEI and the pronoun stuff, and you'll stop censoring people, or you'll lose your federal funding. You know, so it's a matter. You know, the question now is, how much do you trust Trump to follow through with it? You know, is he going to be able to do 100% of everything he talked about? No, he's not. Thinking that's going to happen.
They're going to try to fight him every single way. Well,
even then, there's some things that just aren't politically capable. He's not politically capable.
Right.
He doesn't have that type of political.
Well, but I mean, he is really, I mean, this is probably the most thought out. Him selecting these people for the positions. This is probably the most thought out that I have ever seen in my lifetime.
Well,
for any president to do.
No, Clinton was well thought out. You know, that's the one thing I hope that Trump does is something that Clinton did when he went into office. First thing Clinton did when he went into office was he fired every federal prosecutor, every federal prosecutor, and put lefties in. And I would love to see Trump doing that. And when Clinton did it, it was the smartest political move ever. But whenever Trump does it, if he does it, you're going to see a meltdown, a hissy fit like you've never seen coming from these people. You know, so they set the precedent, and if he can undo it, then good on him. You know, I'm not gonna hold my breath waiting for it all to come to fruition, though. Because I still stand by the idea that we are still responsible. We are still responsible for our well-being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the art of the deal, ask for everything so that you can get what you want. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, and here's something else different too that a lot of people don't mention is he's got a mandate. He got his. What is your problems, dog? The dogs are crawling on me. I'm sorry, but he basically got a mandate. He won by a very, very significant amount of electoral votes. Plus, he won the popular vote, and we still haven't figured out where all those missing Democrat voters went.
I know, but there are a lot.
Man, I certainly hope they're okay. I certainly hope they're okay.
Here's what I think. I think we removed mail ballots from the graveyards. Seriously. I mean, I saw some pictures of them picking up some ballots, but apparently they didn't pick up enough.
Well, apparently Arizona's still managing to pull shenanigans. Kari Lake, they're doing everything they can to make sure Kari Lake doesn't win.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. She's really like trying to get
Maricopa County politics is one of the most corrupt places in the country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Senate leader vote tomorrow is one to watch. Rick Scott from Florida would be the best choice, I believe. Yeah, but they're pushing John Thune. God, what a weasel. He's a dim bulb too. We'll see. We'll see what happens. They undied. They undied and
voted Trump.
No, they didn't. They disappeared.
They disappeared. Like these votes disappeared from
Trump only got
ballot.
Trump only got about 4.5 million more votes this time than he did in 2020. Mm-hmm. But the swing for the Democrats was 81 million to 66 million or 67 million, somewhere around there. So yeah, there's like a 15 million person change there for the Dems. And third parties got more votes this time too. But yeah, I don't know. I hope they're safe. I certainly hope they're safe because, you know, the most open and fair election ever had a lot of people vote in it that didn't vote this time. I'd hate to think that Trump did something bad to those people and they weren't able to vote. I wonder if that's what happened. Yeah, because
Greg said they just sat this one out.
So they
just sat this one out.
Yeah,
decided not to vote at all.
You said it, not me. Oh
man, I tell you what.
Get out there. There we go. No, but the way that everything's shaken out, it's going to be a very interesting 4 years. The next 6 months are going to be very, very interesting.
And you just got to keep your head on a swivel. You got to make sure you're paying attention because they are literally, especially what happened, what FEMA did in Florida. That's just a small taste of what they're going to sick on everybody the first 6 months of Trump's presidency. No Trump bumper stickers, no Trump flags in your yard. If you do, you are just a target. All right. You're white, so if you're white, you may just be a target. And now Black women everywhere are standing up and saying, don't expect us to come to your Antifa marches and that kind of thing. This isn't happening. And so really, it's going to be any conservative, anybody whatsoever who doesn't support the left is going to become a target.
Yeah. Did you hear about this 4B movement?
No.
So I don't remember where it started. I think it was the Philippines.
Oh no, Korea, South Korea.
Korea. They were Korean.
South
right.
Korea. Yes, I did, and it's so stupid. And please don't repeat the story because I just don't know that it's even worth it.
Well, no, it's funny. It's funny because it's finding its way over here.
But no, they went and sought it out and brought it over here.
The thing about it though is you can't help but running across this stuff on your feed on YouTube, and just people talking about it. And the funny thing about it is these women that they're shaving their heads and they're saying they're not going to date, not going to.
No, you can't have sex. You can't date men. You can't. What was the other one? You can't.
But they're doing
no heterosexual marriage. This is all a strike thing.
They're doing it in protest, but listen.
My whole thing is most of those women nobody wants to have sex with in the first place. Most of those women nobody wants to be close to because they're all disgusting, nasty little attitudes and their character and all of that. I wouldn't get along with any of them, I don't think. And then you just don't want to be around that anyway. So let them do them, and men just be glad that they're holding out because you don't want to get messed up in that.
Yeah, Gregor, we're not hearing much about it, but the stories are out there and people are still working. More and more it's coming out. It's coming out that the government's not helping. It's locals.
They're not helping.
It's locals and volunteers.
A body actually washed down to Florida. And so there's still, now that not to be crude here, but now that, because we are, let's face it, we're in decomposition time and have been for a little bit. And so now things are falling out of the trees, releasing from, bodies, releasing from different things and that kind of thing. But this is horrible. Absolutely horrible. It was disgusting. And then if y'all heard what they did in Florida, absolutely disgusting too. Anybody that had a Trump flag up or a Trump bumper sticker or anything like that was denied the ability to file for FEMA support.
Okay, so
that is a fact.
Let's get down to the details in this because it's a more nuanced thing than that. So FEMA has a policy of avoidance and de-escalation. And the lady that got fired because she got caught doing that came out today and said, they're using me as a scapegoat. This is FEMA policy. And here's what the policy is. And she explained it. And basically her thing was they went into the neighborhood and people were like, screw the government. So they said, okay, if they've got a Trump sticker or any Trump sign in their yard, we don't do anything. They just preemptively, because that happened, they just cut it off. And FEMA came out and said that she was the one doing it, and it was
she made the policy up, and it had nothing to do with them.
She made she was never told by FEMA that Trump signs were bad, Trump people were bad. But when she reported it, they didn't do anything to stop her from doing it. So she's screwed. The higher ups in FEMA are not going to get any pushback on this because they never told her to do that. But she's online. She's online saying this is a policy, and this happened in North Carolina, and it happened in Tennessee, and it happened in Florida. This is something going on, and it was discriminatory, And I think this lady decided that if she's going down, she's going to take as many people that were involved with it down as she can.
Let's see what age she said.
Yeah. So it's So it was her interpretation of the policy in writing. Yes. And when she reported it back, to the FEMA higher ups, they did not change. They did not do anything about that interpretation. So, so she was a willing pawn until things got too hot, and then she was a scapegoat. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Randy? When they started actively pushing God out of the public space and started demonizing people that were believers, that changed. It changed, and I hear too many people say that God is on our side, and that's not what needs to be said. What needs to be said is, are we on God's side? Yeah, one side doesn't believe in God and hates religion. Well, and I'm going to say this. I'm not too keen a fan of religion.
He said doesn't believe in God
or hates religion. Well, and I'm just saying that I'm kind of in that boat too. You know, the religion of the American church is apostate.
I don't know. We need to try Cowboys Church. Misty and Chris are thinking about doing it too.
Are they?
Yeah, we need to try that out.
Is that the one over by Perry?
No, it's in town.
No,
not in the city. It's in town. I think
some people are evil. Well, we're all bad people. Fallen nature. Okay, HG says, kind of reminds me of something I learned a long time ago. Whatever you are thinking of doing, imagine explaining it, starting with, well, Your Honor, if it doesn't sound good after that phrase. Yeah, you know what? Consider that one stolen. That's a very good life lesson. You know, and I'd rather learn it from somebody like you than from a judge.
Dang, I wish somebody could have told me that when I was a kid. I would have kept me out of a lot of trouble. Maybe, I don't know. So dang.
I like that. You know. So yeah, and these are the things that are going to cause problems for Trump and the agenda. People like that, the higher ups that know that they're insulated from the repercussions and can scapegoat the lower people. Now that
they're insulated from a lot, and that's one of the things that Cowboy and we were talking, and so that was one of the things that we were talking about today. You know, you got Tom Hanks that left, and he's in Greece now. He'll never be held responsible for anything that he did. You have the deportations coming in, so now we're going to have a human trafficking ring that is going to it's going to cause a war. I'm telling you right now, it's going to cause a war. But what they're having to do, because Trump is saying, I'm going in and I'm going to make sure that everything gets declassified. Well, you start doing that, and now you got politicians and, all kinds of people that are like, holy crap. And so a lot of the stuff that has been hidden for years and years and years is getting ready to come out. And so this is why I worry about Trump, because this is why I worry about him, because he's going to be a target. He's going to be a target. We need to pray for this man every day and hope that God protects him. But I know God's got a plan for him. He's survived 3 attempts on his life, if not more, because how many weren't caught? And then, he gets reelected. This is incredible to me. And he's got a plan to make it clean. He saw the swamp. He had 4 years to evaluate the swamp. 8 years, because he lived it for 4 years and then watched what happened the next 4. And so, he's got a lot of insight into what he's going into. He's going to ruffle some feathers, but good on him, because it needs to be done. And this is why every time anybody from our community goes to a commissioner meeting or anything like that, the sheriff's department is always there, because they're afraid. And these politicians, they should be afraid, because they're coming after you. And thank you, Trump. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you for listening to we the people.
Well, I'm just so happens that our message lines up with his ideas. That's what it is. He's a businessman.
I'm all right with that, but no, he's truly loves the country, and he wants to make it better. He wants to make it better for his children and his grandchildren and for the people. You have to admit, he's one that has always cared about people. And
at the end of the day, though, this is what motivates him. What everybody needs to understand.
Because he loves to win.
Well, and that's part of it.
But I'm good with that.
He's a businessman. And a businessman is what we need to fix the country. And he's tapped into, everybody else is tapped into that what he wants to do is good for them personally. And it's not that he so much cares about us individually. I mean, here's something I heard this last week, which I found very interesting. The Dems and even a lot of Republicans, they try to pass themselves off as the everyman. Kamala Harris, you know, she was born in a middle-class community, right?
Did you know that she made fries at
And she made fries at McDonald's, you know, but they're always trying to be that average everyday Joe. Tim Walz, Clinton was excellent at that.
Tim Walz is an average Joe.
Obama,
he allows boys in the girls' bathroom.
Obama painted a pic. Why people thought he was an everyday Joe was beyond me, because his story. Anyway, that's beside the point. But they always try to paint themselves as this. Think about what Trump did. Trump went to McDonald's, put on that apron. He had a white button-down shirt that probably cost several $100s and a red tie on. Mm-hmm. He went and rode in a garbage truck with a white shirt and a red tie. That one thing Trump has never done. Trump has never tried to paint himself as an average person, which to me speaks to honesty, you know, character, you know, and honesty. You know, he's not trying to be something that he's not. He understands that he's privileged, but he also understands that these business decisions that the Dems have made for the American people are hurting the people that are needed to run this country. Small businesses. Our economy is still driven off of small business owners, you know? So that, and I think that's one of the reasons why people identify with him now and don't have such a negative opinion of him, because they see that he's not phony. Now he's a master marketer. Let's be honest.
Oh, he's great at that.
He's a master marketer, you know?
He's the one that could invest in Grumpy Acres farm freeze-dried food.
I wish.
I know. Like, oh man, I'd never be in a hand brace.
Yeah, that right there. I think Independent Mini hit on. That one right there is a huge one. If
oh yeah, so
if they don't open.
Well, if he's trying to declassify everything. So if he does, then that's what you'll get, and that's what Cowboy was saying today. They never really released that list. They released some names, but those were only the names that were mentioned in court. And those were not the names on, or they were on the list, but those were not all of the names. The list was much longer.
And from a practical standpoint, that's a very easy thing to do. Just putting those lists out there is a very easy thing to do. Having them unredacted, as long as there's nothing national security threatening on there.
Well, and that wouldn't be Shirley.
That would be super easy for him to do. The problem comes into what the repercussions of it are,
because the political positions that are on that list.
So if he doesn't release them, it's not because he can't, it's because he doesn't want to, which again, like Hog said, it's going to be very telling. Or no, I'm sorry, I don't remember who said it.
Independent Mini, I think.
No, Independent. Independent said that. You know, so we'll see. You know, again, but hey, don't put a lot of faith into it. Seriously, you know, I said it. We woke up on November 6th, and we the people are still responsible for fixing things. And somebody in Washington, D.C. can make decisions that are going to affect us, but they're not going to affect us as much as the decisions that are made at our state houses and our county courthouses. You know, so we need to make sure that we're focusing our attention where it does the most good, where we get the most bang for our buck. All right. You know, and here's the deal. If it doesn't work, if Trump's agenda falls flat, but we're down here at the bottom level cranking out good stuff in our communities, that's all that matters, right? And anything that Trump and his agenda does is just gravy. It's just gravy for us, right? We got at least 2 years to get our stuff. This is bought it right. Time and space.
You put that up super fast so nobody can read through it, and then you don't finish the sentence and you mumble in the middle of it, because I couldn't read it.
It was right there.
No, because when you put it up there, it disappears here. This one I can see, that one I can't.
We've got at least 2 years to get our stuff straight. At least this bought us some time.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Hopefully it'll buy us 8 years. We'll see.
Well, it theoretically, it could buy us 12 years.
You think?
If they do the right thing and Vance doesn't turn out to be another deep state plant,
Oh, then he could get voted
we
in.
could get 12 years of Republican presidency, which could lead to more.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine 12 years with this
prosperity.
agenda, prosperity? Oh, the trillions of dollars that were wasted and sent overseas. We could get out of that mess. This would be amazing.
Dude, you know what November 5th was? And I had heard this before and I completely forgot about it. November 5th was the first time in over 40 years, or in 40 years, where a member of the Bush family or Clinton family or Obama family
wasn't involved,
was not on the presidential slate. How cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and look what happened. Trump gets in and we're really poised to have some like 1980s style changes to the country.
You want to answer Randy's question right there, because that's a good question and he needs to research Vance. This is amazing.
What are the odds on Vance? I haven't seen a lot really of him. Well, he's a junior senator, House member, junior congressman. He was raised in a trailer to a drug addicted mom. He is an everyday guy he's
an overcomer.
Yeah, he really did drag himself up from where he started out as. He was a corporal in the Marine Corps, which I think is really cool, because a E4 from the Marine Corps is going to be telling generals what to do, which is awesome in my book.
HG, too much energy tonight.
Vance for 2 terms. We could have a V8. Absolutely.
Oh.
So yeah, I would say Randy, do what Angela said, go look at him for yourself. Mm-hmm. Here's the problem.
Oh, and there's a documentary on him too, on how he grew up. Do you remember what that's called? I can't remember what it's called. Oh my gosh.
Here's the problem with him, and this is where my concerns lie.
Not a documentary, I'm sorry, a movie about his life.
To get to the position he's at the national level, he's got some associations with some people that are deep state enablers.
That's it right there. Thanks, HG. Yeah. Hillbilly Elegy. Yeah, that's the movie and the book. And either one, the movie's free. Where did I find that? Do you remember? I either found it on, I might have found it, not YouTube. What's the ones that you have in the cube? I call them cubes because they're all squared together.
Amazon, Hulu.
It might be Hulu. It's either Hulu or it wasn't Netflix, I don't think. I think it was Hulu. Somebody's got it in there, so just look for it.
Yeah, Vance will be primary. I'd take DeSantis too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, Anti.
Hi.
So the possibilities are great, and it's just it's our responsibility to capitalize on the time and space we've got to make things better for ourselves, to create more insulation. And I've been quite honest. I'm a student of history, and the Republic is coming to its end. Statistically, we're about the end of our run, and something different's going to come out of it. Now, what comes out of it can be either good or bad. This is one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of civil wars or revolutions, because it's not guaranteed, even if our side wins, that something good is going to come out the other end.
Right.
It's not guaranteed. I'd rather fix it before it gets broken and lay the groundwork for something good coming out of it in a rather peaceful manner than tearing the entire thing down with violence.
Right. Hey, war. Mrs. Metal. Welcome,
hey,
welcome.
But so that's where that's going. You guys got any
micro in there? Oh, yeah.
Micro's an American treasure in my book. That dude, when that dude passes or he gets out of doing what he does, man, that's going to be a shame.
You know, one of the things I thought was interesting too, and they were talking about this today, and I started thinking on it, and then you said what you said. It's very interesting to me because do you realize a lot of the people that he is picking to put on these in these positions, they're in their 50s. They're all 52 or anywhere between 48 and 54.
Relatively young.
Well, yes, I think so. And so it literally sets them up to be leaders and to run for more seats and do all that. So maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Maybe 12 years. We'll see. Maybe more.
You know. And then this thing with the thing with the wise Latina, the Justice Sotomayor. You guys heard about this? So she's a type 1 diabetic, and she is being pressured to, and it wouldn't work, but they're doing it anyway because they're desperate. She is being pressured to retire from the Supreme Court and let Biden pick the next justice that comes in.
Oh my God, Lord! I knew.
Well, number one, it wouldn't work. I mean, just procedurally, there's not enough time. But that's not the point. The point is she would never do it. And number one, she's a type 1 diabetic, and they're making it sound like she's going to die in the next 4 years. And you guys,
that's not going to happen.
You know as well as I do that isn't the case, which is even more reason for Vance to be a good guy and be elected as the next president, because if Trump doesn't appoint any Supreme Court justices, the next president most definitely will. Mm-hmm. You know, but it's a matter of ego. This is one of the reasons why they suffered so bad with Kamala Harris, because they didn't get Biden out when they should have. And Mike Rowe is an advisor. He. But you know what? I could see him working in the labor department, just with his ideas about hard work and the dignity of a good job. Mm-hmm. You know, we were talking about something that down that road today. You know, a lot of schools don't have vote tech and home ec anymore.
So weird.
Well, and it started back in the 80s. I don't know if you guys remember, you know, us Gen Xers. There was a big push for people to go to college, but there were still vote techs and you know, home ec classes that taught you how to run a household. You know, and by the time our kids graduated high school in the 2010s, you know, yeah, they had 4-H, they had some automotive classes.
We had home ec and wood shop,
but they had it, but they weren't pushing it as career choices. And the home ec that our kids got was not the same home ec.
Kalia went to Votech. There was a Votech.
As I said, there are people doing it, but it's not being pushed the same. And they are pushing every kid to go to college. And I'm here to tell you, I went to college. I should not have gone to college. It's not that I wasn't intelligent enough. It wasn't my mentality, you know. In retrospect, I said it the other night. I should have gone directly in the Marine Corps out of high school, you know. But they need to get kids back into doing professions and stuff. And the reason I'm thinking about it is because Mike Rowe was looking at the statistics and some experiments that have been done, and if you gave a kid $100,000 to go to college and a kid $100,000 to learn a trade and start his own company, at the age of 40, the kid that started his own company was financially more well off than the college student. Yeah. You know, and I just wish that they'd push more kids to do that. I mean, we knew some kids that went to college that shouldn't have gone to college. That came out of our kids'
gone to college.
You know, but the one kid dropped out of college and started working for a fiber optic company, and
is doing great.
By the time he was 25, 26 years old, he was making $100,000 a year installing fiber optic cable, you know, and it's just stuff like that. And he was good at it, you know,
enjoyed it. And yeah, it was great.
Let's see here. Alex says Gen X and earlier had real homes in home ec in school. Yeah. They push trade schools. Kissoff's granddaughter is a vet tech. Yeah. And Angela's right. There were kids that went to Votech. Sam, the vet's daughter, she did that during high school. By the time she graduated high school, she was and then she went and then she was an assistant, and then from there she went ahead and figured out that she wanted to do it. And didn't she? I think she did become a veterinarian, didn't she? Randy, I went to school and got an associate's degree in diesel technology. I used it for 15 years. Now I'm robotics, automation, self-taught, and making even more. Yeah, you know, but you learned how to do that, and college is not teaching people that. Yeah, for the most part. Lynn says the skilled trades are going to make more than doctors and lawyers very soon. They're retiring at a very high rate right now. Soon demand will be huge. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. I always wished I would have learned how to weld so I could be an underwater. You know, there's
several times that I wish you knew electrical and that you knew how to.
You know what? Though? You know what? How to weld. That may be all. That's all fine and dandy, but I'll tell you what. Out of everybody in the community, I guarantee I can plan an ambush better than anybody.
I'm not saying that you don't have your strengths. You do. I'm just saying I was teasing. It was a joke. It was a joke. Did you not find it funny? Everybody else in here found it funny. How come you don't find it funny?
I'm just saying I can plan an ambush and execute an ambush better than most people.
Whatever.
Employ small arms. Whatever. Yeah, Hacks is a trade school product, and yeah, he did okay. He did okay. Yeah. You know,
he actually does good. He's the jack of all trades, and I like it. So.
Well, okay, I'm gonna sing the praises. I'm gonna sing the praises of Hacks and Rowdy and Tag. They're both very good at what they do. Tag is a great construction guy. Hacks is mechanical like nobody I know. But the one thing they do best in my book is they're able to pass that knowledge on and teach people. Both of those guys,
excellent teachers.
Both those guys taught me the skills I needed to come into this house and to keep my farm running and stuff. Now, am I an expert at it? No, not by a long shot. But I'm learning. I'm even at my age, I'm learning.
And usually someone's there that can say, okay, let me help you back up a little bit and then fix it. So everything's been fixable. So
Randy says he can do our electrical stuff too. And I can help him set up ambushes. Hey, that was one thing I wanted to do. If you guys go back and look at our video catalog, a couple of years ago, Hacks and Billy Bond and I did a video at an Airbnb we were staying at, and we went through using permaculture to create a defensive scheme for your household. And I wanted to do that for somebody here, and they were all about it, but then they backed out. They didn't want their property
on camera
highlighted like that. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. But you know, and I if somebody wanted to pay me to do that, I would go in and walk the property with them and do a quick survey and figure out how to do that. You know, it'd be a nice way to make a little bit extra money. HG says making a weld stick, especially with wire, isn't that hard. Doing it well and knowing the right rods, etc., for different materials isn't hard. I learned farm welding and almost like good enough for government work. Well, I'll tell you what, HG, I'm a better grinder than I am a welder. Let's just put it that way. I can get stuff to stick together, but there's a lot of grinding involved after I'm done.
Chris is the one that's excellent at it. He's so proficient.
Chris is really good.
He's the welder, but that's what he does for a living. So, you know, and he says all the time, he goes, I'll teach you how to do it. He goes, but I prefer anybody that comes in not know how to do anything.
Right.
Then, you know, as long as you have zero knowledge and you come in, it's easier to teach you what to do. But
I'm close enough to zero.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know, there's always stuff out there.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's 19 after 8. Do you want to keep going, or what do you want to do?
I got some stuff I need to do.
I kind of need to get set up. We need to get firewood in. I need to get a fire lit for Skane's girl so she's nice and warm, because I know she's gonna freeze to death because I am freezing. Like, I'm all in my blanket right now. It's chilly.
Oh, HC, thank you. I think that's the video I was just talking about.
Oh.
I don't have it. Doesn't show up whenever you put links in the chat and we're on StreamYard.
Oh yeah, it doesn't show up in blue anymore. Tiger said, I didn't know that.
It doesn't show up.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'll be there, and it works. You don't have to click on it. It'll be there and it works. But they don't show up in blue anymore. You know how they used to. Now they don't. So yeah. So y'all, thank you. And thank you for all your prayers and everything else. You guys are amazing.
Yep.
And I hope we get to see some of you, Zeg, push, and a lot of you actually at the SOE party, December 7th, Camden, Tennessee, and starts at 3 p.m. Free entry, free vending, that kind of thing. You just got to get a hold of them and tell them that you're coming. So we hope to see everybody then. And I don't know, not enough practice with what?
He's talking about welding MIG and TIG.
Okay. Yeah. So so anyway, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get off because I do have stuff to do. So
yeah, I need to get the wood in, and I need to go fold clothes and do some stuff.
All right.
Yeah, thank you, Lynn.
Thanks, Lynn.
Smash that like button.
Yep, it's free.
I hope you guys enjoyed the evening. Just think about what we talked about, and just understand that number one, things are probably not going to go the way you want them to. Even if good stuff is happening, don't let it get you down. Don't, 80% is better than 50%. It's not as good as 100, but it's better than 50. So just, let's hope it goes that course. Number two, don't let the media, don't let the blue-haired people, don't let them get you down. All right. And they're going to do everything they can to discourage us and make us regret the decision. They're going to tell us exactly how bad he is constantly.
And they're going to constantly tell us about what they're going to do. So just keep your ears peeled. They're going to tell you, and you can get ahead of the ball game. Even if it's by a week, who cares? You got a week ahead notice that something's coming down the pipe. But I'm telling you right now, get your preps stacked back up. If you've been going through them, if you haven't started, get them started and be ready. It's going to be a tough year.
And remember, if life hands you lemons, at least you won't get scurvy. See, the one I like is if life hands you lemons, you can throw them at the people you don't like.
You know what I heard, and I don't want to be like that person, but I did hear this. It was Chris Plant was talking to a friend, and his friend literally looked at him because they were talking about the presidency and excited that he got elected. And he said, look, there's a difference between winning the election and the inauguration. And then he broke it down. And basically, that's a communist way of saying don't count your chickens before your eggs hatch. Yeah. So got to still make sure you're paying attention. We're not trying to give anybody fair point or anything like that, but keep stacking.
And remember,
there's consequences to our actions.
It's our responsibility. Yep. We the people. Yep. Any final thoughts, Angela?
Sure. I just gave you a lot of them, so I'm just going to leave you with this, and so y'all know what it is. Be at least 1% better tomorrow than you were today.
I thought it was 10% now.
Well, I said 10% last time, and then you still give me a hard time.
He said it last time, and Trump wasn't president. Trump's president now, so the urgency's not there.
No, it actually is. So maybe I should go up to be 20% better tomorrow. But I can't put anybody on a scale I'm not willing to do. So we just say 10%, but yeah,
you guys
will stay in there.
You guys have a great week, and we'll see you. We'll see you at the next live, and go live a life done free. Stick around. There's something at the end of the video. There we go, guys.